Good evening. Welcome to another weekly edition of Real Talk, Real Church. I'm Minister Javier Rivera, on behalf of Pastor Lemuel Eaton and our Lamb and Lion Worship Center Church. We'd like to welcome you all. Of course, just like it is, Real Talk, Real Church. Before we go any further, though, let's take care of a little bit of housekeeping here. Of course, as you see, every Wednesday we're here 7:30 a.m. p.m. live, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. And of course, you can catch us Sunday mornings at our physical address at 10 a.m. at 111 East 25th Street in Norfolk, Virginia. And if you'd like, you can also catch us on the same social media outlets if you're unable to make it to our services, of course. Again, that's 10 a.m. Sunday mornings. And again, very, very large thank you for Pastor Lemuel Eaton and First Lady Eaton, and of course the partners of LLWC and of course LLWC Nation. Thank you for allowing me to come into your perspective video feed and of course bring you that real talk, real church. Before we begin, allow me just to open up with prayer. Dearest Heavenly, Most Gracious Father, I thank you. I thank you for yet another blessing of a day, another blessing to do things right, to bring things into your glory. Of course, to show your light, your love, your grace, your mercy to all those around me, near me, of course, and those within the sound of my voice. Today's Real Talk, Real Church, I'm going to do a little something different here. I'm going to start with an African proverb that I heard was the original "Each one, teach one," and I'm going to expound on that a little further. It was originally back in the early days of the unfortunate slavery, where those who were fortunate enough to either learn how to read or taught to read were then responsible of each one to go ahead and teach one and go ahead and further bring that knowledge out. With that, the title of mine today is actually "Preach one, each one, reach one, then teach one." And I'm taking an example out of the King James version of John, and I'm going to go in 8 and start with 12. I'm sorry, chapter 8. It's one of those nights. Verse 12. And then spake Jesus unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Right there begins where my message will take in, and that's the preach one. He had no issue doing his Father's work. He had no problems with showing how much his Father, our Father God, of course, loved, cherished, gave us the grace, the faith and knowledge to do what's right, regardless of other people's misdeeds or the way people thought about you or people trying to set you up. Because if you remember in this book, that was when they were trying to trap Jesus, or per se, try to get him to see if they can get him to be fallible or prove a flaw. That was around the time where they were trying to stone the woman for adultery. And with that, you take into account, if you hear from whether it's your pastor, a minister, a good family friend, a mentor, older brother, even a parent, someone you respect being the key word there, when they expound any knowledge to you, you do your best to actually take into account what they're giving you, what information they're actually, pouring into you. And should you, again, like I said, keyword respect them enough, as you should, you take everything they're giving you, every lesson that they're going to pour into you, and you're going to use that, and you're going to go ahead and try to put that into your everyday situation and wonder, okay, where can I go with this knowledge? Now from there's where you go into the each one factor. You want to go ahead and then, of course, bring that knowledge forth. You then want to become a vessel to pour it elsewhere. And when you pour it elsewhere, you're now beginning, as you said, you're now the each one bringing to teach one. As you see, it's going pretty quick, so I apologize if I'm moving pretty fast here. I'm not trying to, I'm just trying to be as detailed as I can in the same process. With that, you want to take that additional knowledge and feed it to them. Now, not because it may affect you. Here's where people may get that confused. It's not something that it may not be directly guided for you. That message may have been said or may have been taught and may have nothing to even apply to what you're doing at that current moment or anytime soon, for all we know. However, as they're expounding that knowledge to you, you're then now seeing, okay, well, wait a minute. I do have someone that I actually was speaking with earlier, and they have a similar situation. Well, you want to go ahead and now take that knowledge, and guess what? You're going to reach one, and you're going to go ahead and bring that out to someone, because you know what? It may benefit them more than it was benefiting you. However, because you were the each one in that process, you went ahead and poured into someone else. And by doing that, that's the way you want to go ahead and reach one. Now, in the same token, you want to take advantage of that fact, because you want to go ahead and teach one. Well, what's the difference? Reach one, teach one. There is a difference, because there's those you may want to reach, and those that understand what you're saying, and they go ahead and just use that application for that moment. However, there are those who you may need to teach that same knowledge or that same wisdom you may have learned, because they need to use that in their everyday life, not just for that one situation. And because of that, you want to go ahead and preach one. Each one, reach one, teach one. You continue to do this on a daily basis. You continue to take in that knowledge that someone brings into you, and you go ahead and pour it back out. And I'm going to jump down from the 12th verse and bring it down to about the 18th. I'm going to start with that, and we may bounce back and forth here, where Jesus actually spoke himself and said, I am the one that bear witness of myself, and the Father that sent me beareth witness of me. There's where he's showing he is not only the preach one, he is the each one that is looking to reach one and teach one. Well, where's the teach one part? Well, it said, they asked him. They said unto him, Where is thy Father? Jesus answered. Here's where the teach one comes in. Ye neither know me nor my Father. If you had known me, ye should have known my Father also. Now, I'm going to use this and go into the Message version. I know there's some people who are not very big on the King James, or they just don't really catch it verbally. So with that, we'll go in that same, like I said, I'll use that same 18 and 19 and explain it in the Message version, where it kind of breaks down and says, basically, I apologize, my vision is not as good as I'd like it to be, that fulfills the conditions set down in God's law, that you can count on the testimony of two witnesses, and that is what you have. You have my word, and you have the word of my Father who sent me. And then going back to where 19, where he goes ahead and says, they said, Where is this so-called Father of yours? Jesus said, You're looking right at me, and you don't see me. How do you expect to see the Father? If you knew me, you would at the same time know the Father. Again, it's that teach one factor that he's explaining to them. If you understood what I was explaining to you before, then you'll see what I'm about, or you'll see what I'm trying to bring to you. And with that, it takes a very big person. I myself, when I explain these things, I tell people, to be able to be the one, to not just be the preach one, but you want to be the each one. You want to be able to take in that information. You want to have someone that's pouring into you that knowledge that you can share forth and then bring it to someone else. Because if you can't share the knowledge, what good are you doing? Are you really reaching one? Are you the each one that's going to go ahead and reach one or even teach one? With that being said, I know it's a very short message. I thought it would go a little longer. I do apologize. However, I know that there's plenty much more. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. As you see on the information below, you can text your prayers to us. You can go ahead and email prayers@lwc.net. You can visit us on Facebook right here live. As you see, we're transmitting right now through our Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and our YouTube page. And of course, you can visit us on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. at 111 East 25th Street in Norfolk, Virginia. Again, you know where Lamb and Lion Worship Center is. It's where ignorance stops and the truth begins. God bless you. Thank you. Have a blessed evening.